Hello everyone and welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back with issue 1 of the new High Republic comic line. Just like before, it's written by Cavan Scott and illustrated by Ario Anindito, which automatically makes it amazing. I was in love with the writing and the art style of the Phase 1 comic run, so I'm already pumped going into Phase 2. We start off with some instant nightmare fuel as we see an old being who can only be described as a mix between Jorah Sabaoth and Shredder. And he's doing something to these people. I'm not sure if he's draining the life out of them or just flat out killing them, but they look rough. Only to discover that it was indeed a nightmare that Jedi Vildar Mac was having on a ride into Jedha City. After arriving, he's called out to in the crowd and is met by Jedi Padawan Mathia Cathly, who is a very talkative character. And I guess it fits her name being Cathly because she seems to be a chatty Cathy, am I right? Okay, anyway. The Jedi had planned to go straight to the convocation chambers, but something has come up that they must investigate, as Vildar learns that a holy relic was taken from the last known shrine of Sarav. As the Jedi make their way through the crowd, they stop to catch a glimpse of a street performer. This performer, Ran Yalton, claims to be the last of the truthsayers of Bafosh, but someone in the crowd takes offense to this as they happen to be a real truthsayer, and claim that Ran is pulling parlor tricks to steal everyone's credits. A Sephi steps in and tries to defuse the situation, but only long enough to pickpocket the truthsayer and make a run for it. Vildar will not allow this and chases after him directly, only to lose him in a dead-end alley. Vildar returns to the scene and attempts to stop the fight between the two men from earlier when a figure approaches in an attempt to silence the entire crowd, triggering Vildar's PTSD, as he recognizes the being as the man from his nightmares. Vildar pulls his lightsaber ready to strike, only to realize that this is not the man from his dreams, but someone who is in the same organization, known as the Sorcerers of Tund. After explaining himself, the two Jedi finally make their way to the Shrine of Sarav to investigate the Stolen Relic and speak with Sister Vakara. The investigation takes a turn when the same droid that followed him in the street earlier appears in the shrine. Vildar chases after it all the way to the Sephi pickpocket, standing over the body of Sister Vakara. Vildar is not able to act though, as the Sephi pushes his hand into Vildar's chest, stopping his heart instantly. And it's only then that we learn that the Sephi was narrating the story the entire time. The page ends with "to be continued," and normally that would be the end of the issue, but I'm glad I kept going as the story was not over. We move to the Dunes of Jeddah, where another Jedi by the name of Olivia is meditating in front of one of the giant Jedi statues that we originally saw in Rogue One. Her narration explains that 4 of these statues once stood, but now there is only one. Her meditation is interrupted by Master Liban, who explains that she needs to return to the convocation immediately, where the members are all fighting each other, refusing to share the room with anyone using the dark side of the Force. The most interesting thing about this group is that these are all Force-sensitive beings, and we learn that they all have different names for the Force and different beliefs as to how it works and how it should be used. The fight is stopped by Olivia as she ignites her lightsaber in an attempt to stop the commotion. The initial member being targeted, being a member of the Tecumbe, leaves as this is clearly not a safe place to speak to others about her teachings. And just when Olivia thinks it's all over, a man known as Sunshine walks in, speaking on behalf of the Path of the Open Hand. Overall, just a very refreshing comic as always from Cavan Scott. I love his writing and it's always so smooth and easy to follow. And just as it always has been, Ario's artwork is just perfection. But from issue 1, the story so far is really amazing. We're 350 years before the events of the Phantom Menace and it really feels like its own time. Not a lot of everything around us is recognizable, and I find it so refreshing. Learning all of these new characters is great, and we're already setting up some backstory for characters that are going to lead to some great payoffs. Overall, the first issue of the Phase 2 comic line is a massive success, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes from here. But what are your thoughts? Be sure to let us know what you thought of issue 1 down below. As always, thank you for sticking around to this point in the video, and we hope to see you again very soon.